back. Let's try and bring you an expert view on the recent emergence on Dalal Street, plus the proposed impact of the Kirit Parikh panel committee recommendation that has been the hottest topic over the last couple of days now. We have with us a very special voice, Waqar Naqvi, CEO, Taurus Mutual Fund, who's joining us from Mumbai. Mr. Naqvi, good evening, sir. Welcome to Profit. My first question is the most obvious and the most pertinent one. What is your take on the proposed regulations that have been proposed by the Kirit Parikh panel committee? Is it now time perhaps for the markets to re-rate the OMC pack, which already has seen a substantial bit of run-up over the last couple of days now? How would you look at this particular space?
Well, we believe that, this report, if implemented, and that is a big if implemented, it's definitely going to benefit the oil companies. It's going to be very good for reducing the fiscal deficit of the country. Partially, it's going to be viewed very, very positively by the global community. However, the big if is a very, very big if. What we only believe is that, while it's going to maybe hurt the sale of the diesel vehicles in the very short period, and they will recover and reconcile and adjust to the changes. More importantly, the fact that this report has come up with something very pragmatic, very stringent, even if it is not implemented fully, I believe that becomes definitely one of the bases for the government to, reduce the subsidy to a very large extent. So even if that happens, it's going to be viewed positively. If the report is implemented in toto, which we believe is fairly unlikely, then of course, if it is implemented in toto, nothing like it. But even if the subsidy is reduced generally much more than what is reduced every year, I think it's going to be a very good fact for the Indian economy.
Mr. Naqvi, suddenly there seems to be a debate that's cropped up, which is on one side we have the advocates of inflation, and on one side we have the advocates of deregulation. How do you see the government trying to manage both these aspects, which both of these could have high impact on the economy? On one side, inflationary environment; on the other side, the deregulation, which would actually help push down the rising fiscal deficit. How do you see this situation panning out?
See, I think the inflation is something on which the government cannot really do something immediately. Not exactly in the control of the government, in my opinion. I'm sure they are trying to do their best, but we still believe that prices for example, in products like tea and rice are still going to rise. Sugar might come under control and so on and so forth. But I don't think it's too much in the control of the government. It's a lot of money is floating around. In terms of inflation, the government's, I think, action to bring it down under control quickly and government's power to bring it down under control very quickly is limited. But yes, on the other front, the fiscal deficit, I think even a signal that they are going to bring it down, even announcing that they are going to come up with IPOs of a lot of PSUs is going to be a positive trigger for FIIs to come in. So while on the one hand, inflation will help only when it really comes down, which will take some time. Fiscal deficit also, while it might take some more time, but even a mere announcement of positive measures is going to help. So I think they can announce measures to reduce the fiscal deficit and keep trying their best to bring down the inflation as quickly as possible. How they do the balancing act is a bit difficult to comprehend because the prices just seem to be going upwards. But fiscal deficit, yes, they can announce a lot of measures which are going to be treated very positively by the Indian community, by the global community, and that will be good for the economy.
And Mr. Naqvi, I just want to pick up on the fact and talk about what's been happening in the markets over the recent couple of weeks. I mean, what has really changed? It was December when those gains were coming in. There's nothing fundamentally that's changed as compared to what was happening in December. And we take a look at what's happening to the markets right now. We seem to be moving on the downside when the world markets move down. On the way up, we really don't participate in the rally. What's really going wrong, or what's changed the sentiment right now?
Well, I believe in India, of course, the budget is a big trigger, and worldwide, I think it's a matter of there's underlying positiveness, but there's a lot of caution also being exercised by FIIs, and we had seen that our market had run up hugely more because of participation by the FIIs. It was not some genuine retail Indian participation. The Indian retail investor is still missing from the stock markets, was missing for the past 6-7 months. So I think the FII is pulling out more on the back of the fact that the underlying worry being with China, beginning to tighten its fiscal policy. there was, of course, a 50-50 vote between what the RBI governor would do in India. Now that he's not come up with a policy rate hike, it seems more or less 100% certain that the next credit policy announces the interest rate hike is given. It's almost given as a certainty. So I think the FIIs would like to wait and watch which direction we head, and hence the pullout.
Mrs. Naqvi, you mentioned the budget because there's a lot of belief that the markets are looking uncertain just ahead of the budget. What is your expectation from this budget really? And of course, are you expecting a pre-budget rally like we've historically seen this time around?
Difficult to say, but I will place more money on a pre-budget rally than on not having a pre-budget rally, because you know the government is having a clear mandate. It's having the will. It has another 4.5 years to go. They have a seasoned team. They have the backing and the confidence of the corporate community, and there's no reason, I believe, why they will not come up with a good budget. I think we have matured as an economy, shown enough in actions by the regulators like RBI and SEBI and the Finance Ministry, and the budgets they have been declaring. I think we can be bullish that the budget is going to be good, and we will place more probability towards a pre-budget rally than not having it.
Ms. Naqvi, the Q3 numbers have just gotten over with. I know your long-term investors don't really change your positions on a day-to-day basis, but what has been your key takeaway from the quarterly numbers? Some sectors clearly have been disappointing in terms of earnings growth. For instance, infrastructure, where Larsen & Toubro was a key disappointment. PSU space, PSU banks, I mean banks like SBI clearly saying that NPA worries could continue. Has your position on some of those sectors changed after the quarterly numbers?
We were any which way not much into banking. We still would like to watch out, because last year in March there was a lot of restructuring of loans done, which resulted in the NPA percentage appearing low on paper. There hasn't been any great offtake, and we would like to watch out what the NPA number is in March. We don't see genuine noticeable credit offtake happening at least in the second quarter of the coming financial year. I would place that July, September is the quarter we feel is going to see some genuine credit offtake. So which is the mainline business of the bank. So unless the mainline business takes off, we don't see any reason why banks should be shooting up tremendously. So we were underweight on banks. Metals is something we feel we will adopt a tactical approach, maybe trade them as a trading bet, come in and go out quickly with a very small portion of our portfolio. IT also we are selective. We are not very bullish on IT. We are bullish on auto, and we are what should I say? Pharma we are bullish. Telecom we are having a mixed reaction. Not too bullish on telecom. FMCG we are bullish. The rural opportunities we are bullish. Infrastructure, you raised infrastructure. I guess we continue to remain bullish on infrastructure. Fundamentally, the economic fundamentals are very strong. India needs infrastructure. And I definitely feel we are bullish on infrastructure.
Ms. Naqvi, I want to come back on the first point you made, that even if the government, the proposal of hiking some kind of a cess on diesel cars by about 80,000 rupees, that would not have any significant impact. But talk about the expectation in the market that there could be an excise rollback back to the 12% mark, service tax also. I'm just talking about the excise impact on the auto space. Do you think that these two factors in cumulative sense could actually see some bit of pressure on the auto space, where demand-led growth has been the key trigger, but going forward, input cost pressures, margin contraction, plus you have the rollback of excise. So these three pointers could actually act as a significant dampener ahead.
To an extent, I wouldn't like to use the word significant, because there is still that demand-supply situation is still in favor of demand. Secondly, yes, one factor I would like to add to your list of the negative factors is that there are new entrants getting ready, like perhaps Suzuki and Mahindra to get into that space. So that might add to the impact. So if you ask me, what do we see in terms of the meat in the auto sector is, yes, for 6 months to 9 months time we see the meat. After that, I guess we will turn cautious on the auto sector. So while your points are valid, I think the significant impact will only drive in after a few months.
All right, Mr. Naqvi, we'll have to leave it at that, but it's always a pleasure getting your insight on the markets and on your sectoral picks at this on the markets, plus also a check on the fundamentals. All right, that wraps up this edition of D Street, but stay tuned. Up next is Profit Newsroom.